Hello, hello, hello. This is J.S. Dixon, and today I'm going to be coloring a two-page panel, which you may have seen me hand draw in previous streams. So let's see how this goes on iron. Alright, so first off, what I'm going to do is I simply just um, basically scanned in this image in a black and white format. Um, and now I'm going to convert it. So I'm going to do that real quickly here. And the way you can do that is in Illustrator, you can go ahead and image trace this. And when you do that, it's going to ask you what type of tracing setting would you like to use. And you could just go ahead and select the one that you like or the one that you prefer. On this end, for my preference, I like to use the sketch art setting. That gives you the best line and pencil work, or in this case, pen or marker, and keeps everything looking organic. So I like that. You can also use black and white as well. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of a cleaner line. That's actually not bad. I might keep that. Um, Silhouette isn't bad either as a setting, but it gets a little jarring and bleeds a lot of the um, color of the marker or pen. So typically don't choose that, but there are occasions when that's necessary. I'm going to either go with the black and white setting here or the sketch. Alright, so the black and white looks good. Let's try the sketch art setting. Hmm. Let's see here. So what I'm looking at is how defined the lines are, the value and the weight of each line, determining whether or not I like that, um, the way that it's showcasing here. And I think this is probably the best it's going to get on this end, so I'm going to go with the sketch art, but let me double check and see if I like the black and white logo setting before I convert the file. Yeah, that's actually really nice too, though. I would say it's a matter of preference. I think I'm going to go with the cleaner lines, which is actually the black and white setting versus the um, sketch art setting, which gives you a little bit of a different line work when this setting is in play here. So let's go ahead and expand this. And that expand button is simply just converting the file to vector art. You can see just the flip of the switch there, everything turned blue, and now they are shapes that you can manipulate. So we're going to go ahead and do that on our end. Okay. So now that we converted everything to shapes here, we now have full control over what we want to do here. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the atmospheric background, which would simply just be the sky. In this case, we're going to grab our paint swatch, or paint bucket rather. Alright, and then need to locate our colors that we were using before. That actually was in the previous file. if you recall. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of those. You can see where we left off in the previous version or stream. So let's go ahead and grab this, because these were some of the colors we were using here. I can actually just look and see where the color scheme came from. So if I double click this, it's going to tell me where everything is. Okay. So now I can go back. I know what I'm kind of looking for. Alright. So I'm going in here to my swatch library, and now I'm going to select the colors that I'm looking for. So we have bright colors. I'm going to keep a list of those. Need a couple more here. Alright. Cool. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start this off here. And select a gradient color. Now double click on here. Alright. Grab our gradient here. It should actually show the first the color scheme of the gradient selection here, but actually it wants us to drop in a color, so we'll do that. I'm actually going to do a dark blue instead of this purple. There we go. I added a color by mistake, so we're going to take that away. There we go. Finally. Alright. Sometimes it takes a little bit to stick if you don't place it in the exact spot. So now I'm going to grab this color and drop that there. And still get a similar effect, but not as impactful as it was before in the other color settings. So now we can go ahead and grab this paint can, and we're going to drop it in. Let's just see what we have here. Oops. Alright, there we go. So what I did there was I wanted to make sure that there is a connection between the white of the paper and then this color block here that is black, so that we have something to fill. when we drop in our colors. Cool. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and drop in color here. Go ahead and grab this gradient color. Want to add this to our swatch library. So now we have that new color. I want to deselect everything, come back to that, and here's our paint can. Alright, so now we just have to fill this area. Oops. Hit the wrong button there. Alright, cool. There's a couple over here. I need to actually get rid of this. There we go. Alright, so far so good. Need to grab the black here. Alright, so right now I'm just filling in the background. You can kind of see what's happening here. There's the silhouette of the buildings coming through some of the cracks of this building. There's a very subtle difference in the black that I selected on here, so I'm going to change that. I actually drop this in. Cool. Alright, so we're going to fill it with this black. And the reason why I did that is because I was getting a bit of a gray, or dark gray versus black, so fixing that now. Yeah, it's a lot better. Okay. Alright, looks good. Cool. Alright. So next up, going to do lines here. I'm actually going to change some of this from what I was initially going to do, but I think it still will be very effective, so we're going to go with this. Alright, so next up I'm going to do the vanishing lines here, which is showcasing an action of the character hitting the wall. So with the football season starting, let me know if there are any football fans out there, and if so, what are your favorite team? Alright. Grab my paint can again. That was real easy and simple to put together, but you can see how well it works. Cool. Alright, easy enough. I'm looking for another swatch theme. There we go. Okay. You'll get a sense of what I'm doing in a second here. That should probably be enough. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm actually just making a linear shadow on the wall here. Alright, you can see how that works there. I need to do one more on the other side. So what I did there was make it appear as if the leg is closer to the wall by adding this shadow. Without it there, you can see it's not as impactful of a depth of field within the image without having that shadow. But with it, you can see it gives a lot more perspective as to the environment of that image. So let's go ahead and do the same thing here. You can probably just copy and paste and just resize. Nice and quick. Alright, that's going to go underneath the thigh here. Just trying to see exactly where everything's falling, and then I can make the adjustments. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to add an anchor point right here, and somewhere around here. Trying to find a spot that will land on there. Okay, cool. Alright, so now we're going to have to remove some of the other anchor points that we don't need. Cool. And I'm just going to drag this guy down into position. Okay. Just going to take this guy. Alright, so I selected 2 anchor points. I'm dragging this up because the shadow's being interrupted by the one leg that's in front of it. go ahead and get rid of this window here. Alright, back to the music. Cool. Alright, so let's keep going here, making this adjustment of the shadow.